If you're in the chat,
maybe publish only happens after the event.
say
Is
hi.
that what I messed up?
A boop a dee doo, doo da dee da, boo doo 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 doo.
It says publish, Brooks. Does that mean
All
we're
right.
live?
Does that mean we're live?
Just went.
All right.
So that's
we
what you got to
figured it
click.
out.
Okay.
Awesome.
It's only like the 30th live stream we've ever done.
Well,
And it takes up, I've heard this from professionals, it takes up to 150 live streams before you can do it right.
yes, definitely.
I
All
see
right.
we've got Mr. Butterface in the building.
Saying hola. I don't see it in my chat.
No, I don't see it in my chat either.
How's that happen?
Y'all are up. What up?
What?
We are up. We are running. I see people coming in. We're going to let a few people get in here.
Yeah, give a couple minutes to let people get in and for Andy and I to figure out the chat situation.
Yeah, I'll figure that out.
You'll figure that out while I chat and just say, hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. This will be
What's
our
up?
5th show in the
days.
last, 48 hours, 24 hours, 28 hours.
4 hours. In the last
4
hours? we've
hours?
done 5 shows.
But we're still, we're still going. We're still going strong. We've been working out, doing push-ups.
Oh, it's under events.
We're
That's
completely
why I
ready.
didn't have the chat.
Mm.
Learning things.
Let's see, what else? I'm curious.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know how
I'll
many
get you
people
this
are in
one.
right now, a handful of people, but I'm curious if there's anyone that has been, who
A
has
part of
listened
all
to
the
today's
events?
show and listened to the Footcast and now is here. Like,
Probably not.
we can barely do
They've
that.
got better things to do.
Yeah, you got a life to live. I don't blame you if you haven't or don't. But
Brooks, everything working out. Robbie Holmes is in the building. What's up, Robbie
Nice.
Holmes? We've got Robbie, Butterface, Brad, and a harder to pronounce name that has arrived.
what? I didn't see that name.
Blockwinberg.
Oh yeah,
Blockwinberg. Yeah.
I love Michael Keaton. Nice to see you guys here. This is going
What's
to be
going on? It's probably going to be a very.
This is going to be an intimate affair. There's going to be a handful of people. This is the time of year where we're not really to the off season yet, because people are the playoffs are still coming. But for those that have missed,
This
the
would be the
playoffs-
time to ask any and all
Yeah.
just secret questions
Yeah,
that you have.
all the secret sauce. We'll give you our recipe.
Brooks, everything looking okay on your end?
You're just delayed.
Have you made sure that all the people on the Patreon have been notified of the live event?
Yeah.
I would send out
You wanna
I
tweet
would
it
do
out?
a post or some sort of update to all of the 10 and above. Let them know.
Okay, we're live.
The Reaping Maverick is a beautiful and smart person because they let us know that they love white fudge Oreos, which are the best. I don't understand why we don't have any right now.
Brooks, is it simply because you don't like white chocolate? So that's fair. Like if you don't like white chocolate, my guess is you won't like white chocolate dip things.
That makes complete sense. Here's what I don't. So, look, my Twitter has just basically become about Oreos now.
Which, by the way, never have been sponsored or ever.
Or
It
ever
seems
will
like
be,
we-
because Mike is, Mike's not going to do our sponsor well if he's like, this trash belongs in the garbage.
That's true. Yeah, we
Yeah,
lost
we
our
won't
shot.
be sponsored. No, this is just pure truth. But the reality is, so people make the arguments for why they're bad. And the argument that I like the least is the argument that white chocolate isn't even really chocolate. Because, yeah, it's like, I don't think it's made from, like, the cocoa.
Right.
It's like, that's like making the argument, cookies are bad because it's not really a brownie. So you can have different things that are delicious. It doesn't matter if it's chocolate or not chocolate. That's just what they call it.
There you go.
I like cookies and I like brownies.
Look,
and
I like
chocolate,
cookies,
chocolate.
I like brownies, I like cakes, and I like bananas.
White chocolate Reese's are really good as well.
If this is entirely food related,
Did we fire them
it
over the
might
place?
be the best live stream we've ever had.
Yeah, there will be no football here
Yes.
today.
I would start a chocolate chip cookie over a brownie, just for the record.
Of course you would, Papa, but I would as well.
Mike has not been fired. He's
vacationing with the family in Disneyland.
all right. So Jonathan listened to all 3 today.
All right, Jonathan. That's endurance, and we
That's-
appreciate it.
Appreciated, yeah. What else is going on? Yeah, Mike will be back on Monday. Jason and I will be in New York on Friday. If
Saturday
you're,
and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday for the live event.
We're not entirely sure, but on Sunday, the watching event I think we're at a public place,
We might be.
and if we are, then we'll probably tweet out where we're at. And if you're in New York or nearby, you can come watch football wherever we'll be. But we are not entirely sure that that's a public event yet or not.
Alex Smith, Dak Prescott, or Josh McCown this week. Who's got the best floor? I'm the favorite team. Dak's floor right now, you've seen it for 2 weeks. It's 1 point.
It's a beautiful hardwood. I mean, it's
Yeah.
right along the bottom. It's just flat, but it's laminated nicely.
I'd like to believe that the Jets against Kansas City secondary have the, at home, that McCown may have the best floor. It's between him or Alex Smith. I think Smith has a good week. I thought about him as the start of the week. I think he'll bounce back. However, he's on the road. So I'll probably just take the home quarterback there with Josh McCown. He'll be good for 2 touchdowns in that game. There's a chance the Jets will be behind. I'm going to go McCown.
I would lean Alex Smith. I think Tyreek Hill's been disappointing people, but he hasn't actually been bad. 7 receptions each of the last 2 weeks. Spoiler alert, he's my start of the week tomorrow. So...
Yeah, so we have a correction on the name. That's a shortening of Blackwing Bird, which is a much more normal name.
Oh.
Like if you're named Blackwing Bird...
But wait, am I correct in saying that to shorten it, you just took out
letters.
the 2 I's?
Well, no, she said it's a weird spelling, which is fine. It's
no, there's a missing C.
That being said, Jonathan's name is in full, so you had room to
Oh
write
yeah, there's
Blackwing
plenty
Bird.
of room for Blackwing Bird. But that might just be like, is that your handle that you use everywhere? I mean,
Yeah.
we all have that.
It could be.
I use Jason FFL everywhere.
All right, guys. I have 4 startable running backs in Bell, Hunt, Mixon, and Pirine. Who the heck do I start?
It's a good problem to have.
Well, Bell is in.
Well, obviously.
That makes it easy.
Bella's in.
How many do they need?
Mixon, P. Ryan. That's a
2?
good question. How many do you need?
Let us know how many you need. Lowe's.
I'm guessing that
Lowe's
have
and
to
O,
start
13.
2 and could probably flex a third.
I'm playing Bell and Mixon in the same game.
I'm playing Bell and Mixon, and then I'll probably play P. Ryan over Hunt. One of the things that's kind of surprising is...
I'm just laughing at Mr. Butterface saying some of us just go by our given names after Blackwing Bird.
Oh, Mr. Butterface, you stick to it. I will give you that.
Yeah.
Your Butterface heritage.
You're no margarine.
No.
Tell you that.
Hey, don't say that. He'll be pissed off. Anyways, where were we?
We're talking about the 2 guys we play.
Kareem Hunt plays against the New York Jets this week, and you think of that as a juicy matchup. But over the last 6 weeks, they are the 2nd-ranked team against the run. So Hunt is still startable this week for sure. But I think you've got 3 better options. So if you need 3, I'd bench Hunt.
I'm gonna let you be the question.
The question asker?
The master.
All right, I'll start at the top. Hola. I'll go a little further down.
You
from
may
there.
be losing this job. Real quick.
Look, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. We're sick. I got sick kids.
Mm-hmm.
But we're here for you. Freeman or Rex Burkhead? Freeman is at home, back from the concussion.
Yeah.
However, playing against Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Freeman.
Yeah, I'm still playing. I was just trying to see if I could
That's
get you
fine.
to say
No, you
Burkhead.
got me to think for a
Burkhead
second.
could absolutely outscore Freeman
Sure.
this week, but you just have to play, the odds, the probabilities, and probability, opportunity, all leans in the direction of Freeman. Freeman's not coming back from like an injury. Like I like when guys come back from concussion versus a hamstring or any other physical body injury because it's not often. I mean, there's certain players that have a long history with concussions that you worry about, but if you don't have that, then it's far less likely than re-aggravating your toe or your foot or your hamstring issue. Oh, I'm still the question asker, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, with Winston getting the start, do you go Brait over Olsen this week?
Yes.
Or wait, yeah?
Until Olsen proves it to you, yeah. I would. I mean, neither are. I'd rather stream Doyle if I could do it. I'd rather play Witten if I could do that this week.
Brait's been really, really good with Winston. I mean, on the season when Winston is the starter, Brait's been like a top 6 tight end, so I would go
I'd be
with Brait.
okay with him, yeah.
All right.
Is anybody worried about Tony Meatballs? That's what somebody asked. Remember Tony Meatballs?
Oh my goodness! Tony Meatballs!
They said maybe an Amber Alert needs to get put out.
Yeah, I mean, the guy
Or
probably
is that
had
a Silver Alert? I mean...
a lot of meatballs, you have to assume.
Yeah.
That's not healthy. I had 2 meatballs today for lunch.
Do you think Tony Meatballs, you're saying he kicked the meat bucket?
Yeah, I'm saying it's easy to kick the meat bucket when all you eat is meatballs.
I know.
I know.
I can
Look,
speak from
I'm on
experience.
death's door.
Please no.
Next question. Let's see here. What do I do with Baldwin and Golden Tate? Both looked great the weeks before this, but they've been killing me the last two. Any ideas?
I mean, Baldwin is the go-to receiver for Russell Wilson. They're a team that can't run the ball. I don't have any qualms with Baldwin. I mean, guys are going to have down weeks. I'm fine with him. What was the other guy?
Golden Tate.
Yeah, as soon as we had confidence in Tate, he had a couple duds.
That's what Tate does his whole career. He's a very
You
hot
don't
and
get-
cold guy, but you got to feel like both those guys you have to start. I did lower my expectations this week for Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin is better at home. This is a primetime game. The over-under from Vegas is decently high. So that all those things are in Baldwin's favor. But if you look at the Eagles' defense lately, they are, I mean, they're like number one or number two against everything except tight
They're
end.
flying.
The Eagles are flying high.
They're soaring
But on the road,
on
I
the
think
clouds.
they're over the clouds. Caw-caw!
That's just a crow.
That's
There you go.
That's
Thank
okay.
you. What circumstances would you start Josh Gordon? Asks Brad Jarrett.
Here's the circumstance I would start.
Everybody
Josh
wants
Gordon.
to start him. That's
Well,
the funny thing.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't understand why people are Josh Gordon, greater sign Corey Coleman. That it makes no sense to me. Corey Coleman
As an
is
actual,
second.
actual player just this week.
No, just like for fantasy. Corey Coleman's second in the league in air yards per game since basically he's been back, and that's pretty valuable for wide receivers.
I'm pretty sure that stat expands to any Cleveland Brown wide receiver that was targeted. That's Deshaun Kaiser.
Well, maybe, except it was actually Corey Coleman. So,
Well, what do you
Deshaun
mean?
Kaiser
What are you
is his-
defining as air yards? You're saying
I'm saying all wide receivers in the league,
per target?
percentage of their, plays or not percentage, total air yards being
Yeah.
thrown. He's got
That makes sense
opportunity.
though, because Kaiser throws a deep.
So here's where I would play Gordon. I think a tournament play where on FanDuel or DraftKings, something like that, where you are going contrarian because there won't be a lot of ownership with Gordon. I don't know the price off the top of my head, but I have to assume he's super cheap because he's as unproven as it gets. And you know that he could go out there and just get 202 and win you a week in a crazy big tournament. But that's about the only place I'd play him.
That's fair. I mean, I'd like to see him succeed.
I would too.
Coleman
I'd
and
very
Gordon should be a great tandem.
Not only Coleman and Gordon, but if we're talking like future, if you've got Coleman, Gordon, and David Njoku I think was up to 57% of snaps this last week, which is his highest on the year. He's getting more involved. He was decent in the passing game, and he's my favorite tight end coming out. And we know it takes tight ends a while to get the playing time usually, unless your team is depleted the way the New York Giants have been. So, man, if they could get a quarterback in there, maybe what is the deal with the Browns? I feel like you've got a good offensive line. You have good receiving options. You spent the capital on Kaiser, and he's
You
got...
could make a really strong argument that they're in their last year's Jacksonville Jaguars, where you needed a coaching change to bring all of these more talented pieces together. I mean, last year... Now, yeah,
So you're off
Jalen
Hugh
Rams.
Jackson?
Yeah, I'm off Hugh Jackson.
All right.
I'm off Hugh Jackson.
That's a pretty emotional
But-
moment for you.
Well, I was off. Look, if they're last year's Jaguars,
You were on Gus Bus.
I was on the Gus.
You got
bus,
off
so-
that. They got off him, and
They're good at prepping teams for eventual success.
Right. Yeah. All
That's
right.
what I'll go
Let's see. Lozano clarified that it is two running backs. on a
Lasagna?
flex. Lasagna, you are delicious. Two running backs on a flex for that question earlier, so you don't need to start Hunt given the fact that you have other great options. Let's-
Yeah, Robbie Holmes, who also asked about Tony Meeball's health, asked where I got my shirt. And I got my shirt the same place as the Calvin one. Yes, it was missionalwear.com. And I like it because it's a very tall shirt. Not many places let you order like the tall version of a shirt, but I'm a tall man, and so that's helpful.
I like the Breeze or Rivers rest of season question that says feels bad. Like you don't want to. It does feel bad.
I think that the floors are the same for them rest of season with the weapons with Keenan Allen playing the way he's playing. So in that regard, I'm going to actually go with the higher upside, and thus far this year that's been Phillip Rivers. So I'm going to take Phillip Rivers the rest of the season. You got to remember, this team started 0-5. Yes, they started 0-5.
0-4.
No, 0-5.
Really?
Yeah. You can check that. They started 0-5. They could have won 2 of those games. They're now 5-6.
Young Wei Koo said,
and this
lose.
is not a bad team. This is a team we expected to be a better offensive team from the beginning of the year. So, is it 0-4?
0-4.
0-4. Then they won 3, lost 2. Is that your I'm right face?
Yeah, that was
really cool, man.
Well, looks like someone was right. If you haven't listened to today's podcast, I was also right about the AJ Green suspension that should have happened.
You were not right about that.
Well.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's do this right now.
We got a quaint little
group
here.
We have 25 people in there now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got 25 people in here. Jason and I debated. I mean, not even a debate because I was right.
It's easy.
And who was in the wrong more? Crabtree or Talib? So that fight, or AJ Green?
Well, individuals as well. I mean, because I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, okay, if Crabtree should be suspended according to the NFL for 2 games and he was ejected, how in the world does AJ Green not get suspended when what he did was worse? And
which it wasn't, obviously.
That's the question: is what?
Yeah,
what
who was worse?
Which
situation
Crabtree
was worse?
Or AJ
What's up,
Green?
Deborah? How you doing?
And if you haven't seen the plays, Google them so you're well informed. Because you got, I mean, just watching that AJ Green play is awesome. It's fun.
Crabtree so far.
I'm about to leave.
Yeah, Mr. Butterface, Crabtree. We've got the for sure Crabtree to leave.
I can't even understand it.
I mean, it's not even a debate.
It's, oh my gosh.
Crabs.
Have you guys watched that AJ Green play?
Oh, wow.
He goes up behind a guy.
He was pushed down first, and all he did was take the guy down. He did not try to punch him.
He punched his helmet. He took him.
He did briefly
around
punch
the
his
neck.
helmet.
He suplexed him backwards. Then on the ground was punching his helmet. What?
What's wrong with the suplex?
And also, you say, oh, he was pushed down first. Crabtree had his neck thing torn off. His necklace.
Right.
Necklace is what.
I'm not making Talib innocent.
No, I'm just focused on the offense. Who cares about these defensive
players?
All right,
there we go.
All right, well, I guess that you can take over the rest of this because it's unanimous.
Yeah, it is.
People think Talib and Crab. Not on
I would
YouTube.
never
On YouTube,
I would never
plenty
rub
of
that
support
in.
for the correct side, which is.
Oh, there's a
AJ
green. You just got a green one. Somebody wants to give you.
Lasagna is better.
Oh, somebody said the move was way better for AJ Green.
Oh, it was. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The rear naked suplex. I've never seen it before. I mean, it's a fun clip to watch, and I give all the credit in the world for execution as well. Although then you take loss of points for punching a helmet because it's just so stupid.
All right, would you flex the Goose over Landry to cancel out Rivers? So this is a fun one. You've got an opponent that has Rivers. You want to cancel him out. Would you flex? No, I would not do that.
The Goose has...
Because guess what happens when Rivers throws all his touchdowns elsewhere?
Yep.
Now you've played a worse player than you could have with Landry.
Yeah, the reality is the way that... If you were talking about like something with Keenan Allen, someone's number one target, then okay, the ball's going there. Hunter Henry, another spoiler alert, he's my start of the week this week. I like him. I think this is a good matchup for him. That being said... He has enough games where they just don't utilize him. He's not the guy they go to. And if that happens while you play him, then your strategy is null and void. And
more importantly, the people they want to talk about my 12-0 team in Dynasty.
The one where everybody thinks your roster stinks?
They think the roster isn't a 12-0 roster, and they're probably right. They said, is it a combination of schedule plus the right starts? I would say yes. I also, if you looked at that big old roster... I had Alex Smith during the first half of the year, and right when Alex Smith slowed down, I had traded for Carson Wentz. So that transition happened at the perfect time. And also, I have the most points scored and the least points against, which is the perfect...
That's how you get 12-0.
The perfect combo. I just got lucky on that. 12-team league, though.
And I will give you credit in this way. Usually when you look at a roster based on how you have to draft and all those things, whenever Gronk is on a roster, it never looks as good. Because a lot of capital went into getting a tight end position, which means... It takes a little bit away from your wide receivers and or your running backs to get Gronk, but he's so valuable. I mean, and he's been playing this year, and he's crushing it.
That was my 0-12 team.
That was your
Somebody was on the live stream yesterday.
Yeah,
By the way,
for
yeah.
support. If you were able to hop on there.
In less than an hour, we were able to raise over $1,000 for the Stomp Out Bullying campaign, so that was awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool. All right.
Ingram or Henry rest of season, should I roster them both? I'd like to see Ingram 1 week with Geno Smith / somebody else. I'd like to not throw that back out on the waiver wire. Now, you don't have to start him this week.
Yeah, I would definitely start Henry. I would prefer Henry.
It's interesting that's the perspective. Let's talk about that for a second, because you say you're all about Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Henry, he had a good week last past week.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had some duds.
Right.
Ingram had 4 consecutive weeks with a touchdown.
Yes.
Before 2 kind of dud weeks. So the definitely start thing, is that just Rivers?
It's offense and talent. I mean, both Evan Ingram and Hunter Henry are talented. They were drafted to be stud offensive players.
And just even from a production standpoint, like even this year, Hunter Henry's outside the top 12 at tight end. Ingram's the number 5 tight end on the year without monster games.
He had that run of great games. Hunter Henry is the 14th tight end.
There you go. And then Evan Ingram is number 5 right now.
Yeah. But
I'm just curious, the matchup's good for Ingram. I think people are turning off on Ingram too much.
Yeah, I mean, if you needed to drop him for something, I'd be willing. But I would agree with you, though. I would prefer to wait and see it. Because if Geno comes out and targets him 10 times, you're going to be like, oh, crap, I shouldn't have dropped him. So if you can wait and see.
We expect Shepard to play this week? He should, right?
Yes. Yeah, he should.
That should help.
Yeah, let's see. Ballers. I'm 11-1 in my league of record.
Decent.
You guys, thank you. That is pretty decent. He says decent
because I'm 12-0.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, 11-1's fine too.
I can't wait for you to lose on the last week.
I'm gonna lose this week. Brooks' team is much better.
You guys need to cheer for Brooks. You need to.
If
cheer
he doesn't,
for
I got the perfect
Green.
regular season.
You got to cheer. Who all are you going up against? Tell the people who to cheer for. The players they need.
I think I'm going up against Hunter Henry. Brooks, you got Hunter Henry?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so don't start him.
He's in for now.
All right, let's see. What else we got? Deadline is the week before the playoffs. That being said, I have Hunt, Bell, Fournette, and because of injuries, Jordy, Allen Robinson are gone. Living Coop is a wide receiver 1. Who should I trade Hunt for at the wide receiver spot?
That's a tough question to answer.
Those are always tough because you need to. First of all, you've got a bunch of teams that are. It's so hard when your trade deadline goes all the way to the playoffs. Sometimes teams are out and you can't even get people to respond, so that cuts half of your pool out. Sometimes those teams. I mean, I hate this, and this is the reason why you shouldn't have a deadline that late. But sometimes those teams that are out, they see a trade that they just think is somewhat fair, and they'll just click accept. So maybe offer some of those teams. I mean, you got to take advantage of the rules if they're stupid. Then change them next year.
That's all you, man.
After your hashtag Foot Clan title. But otherwise, look for teams that are in need of a running back and then focus on their best wide receivers and work your way down. If you're trading Kareem Hunt, you still want to get a top-tier wide receiver. I mean, you shouldn't be trading. Where's like the tier break for you? Would you trade Hunt for like a Des Bryant type?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
No,
that's what I'm.
Not enough reward.
Do you believe enough in Keenan Allen's last 2 games?
No, I'm not doing that.
So you're wanting like.
Unless I was super. I mean, is the rest of the roster there?
Hopkins level. Would you trade Hunt for Hopkins?
Who are the other running backs they have? I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Let's see. Does it say?
I'm not trading Hunt away if it's gonna like completely nerf my running backs just to get a wide receiver filled in. I think that you're trading him at his lowest possible value, so I'm probably holding pat.
I don't see the other.
I didn't see him either.
Here.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Andy has your dynasty team undefeated. Yeah.
That's not nice, man.
I won the great Oreo debate of 2017. Thank you, Mr. Butterface. You are correct. Would you be willing to bench one of Green or Brown for Keenan Allen, given that they can put up 7 to 8 points in a tough matchup, or just flex Allen over Hyde and play Brown and Green? I'd probably do that.
Yeah, I mean, Green Green plays Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh just got torched thrice.
Mm-hmm.
Really, 4 times against wide receivers.
It's funny if you look at the beginning of the season and the
Like
end.
Green
they kind
Bay
of flip flopped. They were shutting down receivers, but somewhat susceptible to running backs. Now they flipped. Yeah, I mean Marvin Jones just.
It just takes one play for AJ Green to regret not playing him.
Yeah, and then the Cleveland matchup for Keenan Allen says play him, and you never say Antonio Brown.
Ray Smith says you're going down this week in Listener League.
Oh, I'm going down in Listener League?
That's what it says.
That's cute. That's cute. I don't even know my team or your team, but I'll win. Book it.
You don't even know your team. Is Pat Mahomes worth a dynasty keep?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you're not going to
100%.
drop him.
No, if Pat Mahomes
He's
is
probably
in
going to start
dynasty
next year.
Yeah, he will start. The contract
How's
situation
a year ahead?
of the Chiefs means they're going to have to get rid of
If they
Alex
collapse
Smith
this year?
Yeah, I mean, unless they're a legit Super Bowl contender this year,
Ooh,
which
excuse me.
they seem to have gone away from, then Alex Smith won't be there.
You got to scroll down a little bit. Or we still got to watch
we
the
still got
answer.
some
Okay.
up here. I've got
for it.
Brady and Dalton in a 2-quarterback league. Just picked up Geno Smith. Is there any week rest of the season where I would start Smith over Dalton? Yes. That would be the week that Dalton is injured.
Yeah,
But it is quality. I mean, I just tried to pick up Geno in a 2-quarterback league.
We're going to see Davis Webb.
Yes.
So
I also tried to pick up Davis Webb.
Geno's going to be locked in there. So
Let's see.
excited to watch Josh Gordon? Yes, I am.
What did Corey Davis do to Mariota to make him hate him? I don't think he does. I think he's good.
Why don't you read this one real quick?
Jason is so incredibly right about the Crabtree, Talib, and Green situation. Greens was in the heat of the moment and an awful incident.
So you're
is
changing.
what he says.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, that makes sense. Rivers or Mariota rest of season. He's got the bye next week. So you're basically, in that case, I assume, just talking about weeks 15 and 16, right? If you got the bye, I assume you don't play a week 17.
You won't play week 14.
So let's take a look here at the schedules. You've got Rivers in week...
Kansas City, the Jets, both on the road.
Both on the road. And then Mariota. Mariota is San Francisco and the LA Rams.
At home. I'm going to play Rivers.
If you have to keep one, it would be Rivers, but I would rather Mariota in week 15 and then Rivers in week 16. I mean, that's what you do when you've got the bye. You just stack your teams. You get the defense. What's the best defense for week 15, the best defense for week 16. I mean, when you get the bye, you only need 2 wins to have a Foot Clan title. It's nice. It's juicy. All right, where are we at? You got any questions, Andy? You see them?
When are we getting to New York City, and what are we doing in New York City?
Getting to New York City late Friday.
What's up, Dylan Duncan?
And we will
You can see
be
part of Dylan Duncan's...
having dinner.
I'm going to
on
zoom
Friday
in.
night.
I'm going to zoom in on Dylan Duncan's
Yeah.
artwork for a second. This piece of art on the wall is courtesy of Dylan Duncan. So
That is what got him in the Listener League.
That is true.
Let's see here. Oh, we were talking about the New York schedule. Then Saturday we're kind of emceeing the World Series of Fantasy Football Final Table. 8 people, a lot of money on the line. Everyone's going to win. Last place gets $2,500. First place gets $25,000.
See if we got some Foot Clan there.
Yep, there are some. I know at least one of the 8 at the final table are Foot Clan, and so we'll be rooting for them and making sure that they win. And then Sunday we'll be watching the games. If it's a public event, then we'll tweet that out, and we can have some people come and watch games with us. I'm not sure if it's public yet or not. Why did you put me in charge of questions?
You're not good at it? Is
Yeah.
that the thing?
Not good at most things, Andy.
Crowder or Diggs this week? Stephen from England. Crowder or Diggs? I looked at this a little bit. I felt like, man.
That is tough. So you've got Diggs is playing Atlanta this week.
Yeah, Crowder's playing Dallas.
Dallas on Thursday.
Yeah, I like Crowder.
I do too. I think I lean that way. He's been so good, even though I think he only played 57%.
I think
snaps.
both will be okay, though. I really do. I think both are going to have a good week.
Yeah. The nice thing there is, to me, the tiebreaker, since it's really close and you go, I'm not sure who to start. The fact then that it's a Thursday night game gives you a little bit more of, you're going to know, okay, am I in a lead? Am I in a hole? Make your adjustments accordingly.
Hey, bonjour, ballers. Thanks for the DFS discount last week. Cashed in everything. So cash in all their tournaments. $10
Nice.
right now. DFS 10
That's right.
at
You got the rest of,
DFSpass.com. It's almost over with.
rest of today. And even if you don't play DFS, there's some cool tools in there that I use weekly, like our Vegas report and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had a good question. Lynch or Gore this week? I would go Lynch against the Giants instead of Gore against Jacksonville. It's very possible they'll be playing from behind a lot in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Let's hang out in New York. A lot of people want to do that. We'll let you know what's going on.
Yeah,
we'll get it out there.
We'll tweet
I promise.
something out if we.
You know what we'll do is we'll post it on Patreon. I'm not going to tweet it. I'm not going to tweet it to everybody on the earth.
Yeah,
I'm going to let the patrons know on Patreon if it's a public event. Right now, it's a private event, so
you can just be on the lookout. I mean, if you're in New York and we're in New York, we'll probably just bump into each other
I'm
on
like
the street.
6'3", so
I'm fat, so
you'll see us.
Tall and the pudgy guy, and then it'd be great.
Yeah. And if you see a tall or a pudgy person, just ask them if they're us.
Yes, just please ask them. All right, hey guys, Tyrod or Cam? That for rest of season and for this week. For this week, it's 100% Cam. I know he's got the finger problem, but his rushing has been. Right now, he's my number 3 quarterback on the week, and if you look at what New England's been doing as a defense, I just. Tyrod's okay because he rushes the ball too, but I'm going to go Cam easily. As far as rest of season, I probably still lean Cam. You have any disagreements there?
Nope.
Sweet. Who else is sitting Dak this week?
Don't
a lot of people.
I mean, that's cool if you want to.
Also, Lynch over Gore. That was the question you had earlier. All right. Watkins worth a roster spot rest of season. He has real tough matchups. We kind of talked about this on today's show.
Yeah, we said pretty much he's not the kind of guy that I would want to drop. I'd want him as like an emergency start if my other wide receivers got injured. I put him in the D-Jax quality category. So he can be dropped if you need to.
All right, Dame Dash need to sit a wide receiver this week. Dez, Demaryius Thomas, Juju, or Marvin Jones. Don't sit Marvin Jones. Need to win to get into the playoffs.
I'd sit Juju with the injury. He's the highest risk. You need a win to get into the playoffs. A zero is going to kill you.
He's on the road against Cincinnati, so...
Yeah. He's not even guaranteed to play. The last thing that came out was he might play.
I agree. I still love Juju.
And if you really wanted to get him in there, I'd sit Dez then.
All right, is Alex Collins worth a late 2018 second-round pick in Dynasty? I'm in contention and losing, and a losing team offered me this trade.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he is.
Man, I think he is.
Yeah,
if you're in contention,
I lean no because I don't look. Kenneth Dixon is going to come back. I mean, this is not Alex Collins is
no. But I'm talking just this year. I mean,
what are you talking about?
Well, it's a dynasty.
Oh
so
wait,
yes.
I was flipping it the other direction. I thought he was going to.
No, he's in contention this year. So he's saying, is it worth giving up a 2018 second-round pick to make that deal? Because I agree with you. Alex Collins is not their future. So really, you're giving away the chance of your second-round pick being a good
Just how thin
pick.
your running backs are. If your running backs aren't super thin, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. If you need Alex Collins, then do it. If you just think, oh, it might be worth the value, and maybe I'll need him, then probably hold off.
Are you making an appearance today, Brooks?
Oh, Brooks, you guys want to see what Brooks looks like? Everyone's always wanted
Finally,
to see
the
it.
big reveal.
It's about time.
It's the big reveal.
The judge is here. Oh, hey, Judge.
How you doing?
Great.
Awesome.
Cool.
Hey, guys.
Nice to see you.
Any strong opinions about this week's games? Anything that's making you go sideways with your picks?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, thanks, Brooks.
I gotta get rolling.
All right. Ray Smith says, too bad Dylan's art. And then it jumped on me and moved. So he said it's too bad Dylan's art is better than his Listener League team. Mic drop.
Fair.
Mic drop. All right.
White fudge Oreos greater than all other dessert foods, and then followed up by white fudge Oreos are an abomination. So look, this is an example. The Foot Clan's an example of how you can get along with people you disagree with.
Thank good. Yes. Amen.
In a time when we have such unity as a country.
Because I can absolutely tell you for sure that white chocolate dipped Oreos are not an abomination, and if you think that, you're just the biggest idiot of all time and still love you and still be close and friends. Right? You could be friends and tell someone that they're just a raging idiot, right?
I do that to you every day.
That's true.
That's literally
true.
my life.
People think
Alshon and Jeffrey are Crowder this week. You got Alshon up in Seattle. I'm sticking with. I'm gonna stick with Alf. Alshon,
Alf?
not Alf.
like
Alf.
Alf. Like Alf.
What do you want to do? Crowder or Alshon with the what? He got the foot injury this morning.
He's got 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games, and the Seattle secondary is banged up. A high over/under. Carson Wentz is getting it done. I'm gonna stick with Alshon. I'm gonna stay in the embers. They're not quite flames, but he's been hot. So I'll stick there. All right, Alfred Morris.
So true.
Thank you. Alfred Morris, Adrian Peterson, or DeMarco Murray in a full point PPR. So Alf is playing.
I don't want to play Murray this week. I really don't.
In full PPR.
No.
He's the only one of the 3 that's. I mean, he might catch 4 or 5 balls.
I'll play Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson.
The workload.
He could have such a sneaky good game this week.
Yeah, he really
The
could.
Los Angeles Rams. They're not good against.
He's on my
the run.
dynasty team, just so you're aware.
Brooks, take him out! Take him out this week, Brooks. Based on the Gore take, does that mean Marlon Mack is flex-worthy?
No.
I
Nope.
would agree with that.
No.
All right, Hunter Henry or the Tomb Raider rest of season?
Henry.
Henry is more matchup proof. Tomb Raider, Tyler Croft just is a great start in some matchups. Hunter
Henry's much better in half and full as well.
yeah, agreed. He has his games where he might have 5 receptions, 70 yards, and no touchdown, and it's no big blow up game, but you're fine. Croft, if he doesn't get the touchdown, it's usually like 1 for 14 and nothing.
Troy wants to know if Chris Carson's going to be back for week 14 and 15, and if he is, will he be the guy? No and no.
No and no. He won't be back this season.
Even when he comes back, even if he came back,
I would be really surprised if Chris
there's
Carson
other people involved.
is the running back next year. I think the running back for the Seahawks next year, while it could be Chris Carson, probably is not on the Seahawks roster right now. That's my guess. Bring in Jay Grizz 2, or he is foraging for berries in the parking lot right now.
He is foraging for berries.
Yeah.
In the parking lot.
Yeah. Because
Not a smart bear.
I mean, obviously bears, their number one source of food is berries.
It's berries.
Because duh.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise he'd be called like a
Go for it. Keep going. A salmon?
yeah, he'd
What are
be
you doing?
called a salmon. That's basically where I was going.
Yeah, I
was
know
gonna
where
say
you were
fish.
going.
I'm so worn out right now.
I know.
All right.
We've got about probably about 10 minutes left in the live stream
All right. Well, let's get as many of these questions answered as possible
before we have to forage.
before we have to forage for fish in the parking lot. Let's see the resemblance is
The
uncanny.
resemblance?
Woo woo woo! The resemblance is uncanny. All right.
that was a shout out to Brooks and Giamatti.
Yes, it was. We're very delayed here in our brains. Let's see. Crab and Talib was nowhere near as bad as AJ Green, is how I'm going to change that sentence. I did lose miserably to Jason, says Dylan Duncan. That is true in the Listener League, and of course. Alfred Morse, Woodhead or Hogan? I finally found a question. Woodhead or
Hogan's
Hogan?
not active right now. The answer is Woodhead. Is it rest of the season? I mean, I
that's
assume
all
it must
says.
be, so I would still say Woodhead. Right now, you're taking the bird in the hand over the, elimination from the playoffs.
Oh, Kaylin, that's very nice.
Who?
Says, amen, fellas. This community is amazing. I really enjoy the forums and the great
that's
work
awesome.
you guys put into
That's
your work.
awesome.
We
We're
really
all.
appreciate it.
If you see stuff that you don't like, that's broken or anything like that, we work hard to try to fix that stuff. So definitely let us know. We work hard. We don't always succeed, but we work hard at it.
Yeah. All right, Alfred Morris or Danny Woodhead in a full PPR.
Woodhead. I believe in Woodhead. I really do. I believe in his slow growth as a fantasy impact.
Yeah,
I don't mind you going the other way, but in a full PPR,
in a
that's
full
what I'm
PPR, I'm tempted more to Woodhead, but yeah, I think I still lean Alf. That one's obviously very close. You really do need to get the cool voiceover guy on the show, though. He's got the best voice ever. That is actually Brooks. Brooks does all of the voiceover, so We'll try to get him more involved in the show then,
Yeah.
based on that take. We
His
take
voice
feedback.
is... Yeah, we take feedback.
We should ease up on Mike about his horrible Oreo take, though. After all, Andy likes baseball. That's a great point.
Yeah, I know.
And I still sit.
You know what else I like? Apple pie and America.
We're America. All right. This next one is pumpkin pie with or without Cool Whip. Great segue. I mean, if we had a listener of the week button,
Do you
right
eat your
there.
Do you eat your waffles without syrup?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you put
do
Cool
have-
Whip on it.
Do you have cereal without milk?
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
I mean, I love the follow-up question, but it is stupid.
Do you forage for berries without a parking lot?
Right? Yes, exactly. See, this community is amazing.
Yeah,
I
a
really-
Cool Whip and a ton of it,
Cool-
and that doesn't
oh.
take away from the pie at all.
I love
Complimentary.
pumpkin. I love a side of pumpkin pie with my Cool Whip. It's one of the best parts of Cool
Have you ever
Whip.
done you should put the first layer of Cool Whip, then put the pumpkin pie. And
Well, you don't
live
need
up to
you don't
it.
need a layer. You just take the Cool Whip lid off and you put the slice right on in the middle.
Oh my god! Drop it in.
Drop it
Boom.
like it's all right.
We're doing that, by the way. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
we
that.
are. Apple pie or key lime pie. I take the key lime pie
would take
and I
the
put
key
it in the
lime.
garbage.
Oh!
Because apple pie is better. Put me a scoop of vanilla on that.
I like key lime pie
Heat it
better.
up. Oh, key lime pie is for old people, so that makes sense. Of course, apple pie is too, so I'm shocked that was an easy
I'm slipping
answer for you.
further into the couch, by the way.
Yeah, we're just slowly melting. You'll know when the live stream is over, when we're just below the camera. All right.
Gosh.
Can you show us Brooks's team? Sure. We can
Let's
read
do a
it to
head to
you.
head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's literally just go to our matchup and,
All right.
and give quarterback versus give position by position.
My team's better than either of yours,
No.
and I might not even make the playoffs.
Could
It's
you
ridiculous.
please, if you don't have 12 wins, be quiet.
All right, I would love to be quiet. You say everything from here on out.
Would you rather have feet for hands or hands for feet?
Feet for hands or hands for feet? I think I would rather have.
I'd rather have hands.
feet for hands, because then I
I could
be-
learn to grab okay with my.
I've got long toes,
Yeah.
and you could
You could run at
throw
least.
you could throw a good punch, and I wouldn't fall down all the time. I mean, I would fall down as often as I
This is
do.
going terrible.
All right, let's see here. This is the matchup in
yeah,
week
it's
13.
right there. All
There
right,
you go.
we've got Carson Wentz against Phillip Rivers.
All right, so here,
I'm always the first
I'm going to
one.
read
All
the
right,
two
go
teams.
for it. You go
okay.
for it.
So here's Andy's starting roster this week: Carson Wentz, Todd Gurley, Jerick McKinnon, Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Rob Gronkowski, Adrian Peterson, and DeMarco Murray. That's a solid team front to back for a dynasty league.
Favored to win by 5.5.
Favored to win by 5.5 points. On the other side, Brooks has Phillip Rivers, Alfred Morris, Samaje Perine, AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Vernon Davis, Jamal Williams, and Hunter Henry.
The Jamal Williams value on his team, that's annoying.
Yeah, that's
So there you go.
going to be a close. That's going to be
S
close.
and ES, by the way, not NES.
And I guess here I'll just read my team so that we can compare. My quarterback.
What was that? What's your quarterback?
Read
Read your team.
This week.
Read your team.
Aaron Rodgers.
No. Blake Bortles.
Yeah, it is Blake Bortles right now because.
Yeah, because he's your quarterback.
All right, the rest of the team's solid. Mark Ingram, Joe Mixon, Antonio Brown, Devontae Adams, Greg Olson, Deion Lewis, and Devin Scrumptious.
See, cool nicknames.
T.Y. Hilton,
What's your
C.J.
record?
Anderson on the bench. Ugh.
What's your
My
record in
is
that league?
6-6, and it's
Okay.
ridiculous.
See, people see my roster and they're like, "That's not a 12-0 team," and then I say, "Look who's running it." You know what I mean? And then they see your roster, they're like, "That should be a 12-0 team."
Lowest points scored.
That should be
against.
No, I have the
Against.
highest points scored in the
Against.
league.
Lowest scored
You're
against.
jumping on that bandwagon
You don't,
after you
because I'm 6-6
after
and my
you
team is just
defended
good.
me.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Last question.
Last
question.
question. Really?
Yeah.
All right.
They were rapping.
Papa says we're done. Says time to come home. Time to come in. Dinner's ready. Let's see. I'm going to pick a great one. Who doesn't like baseball? That's obviously an awful question because it's everybody.
Jason should be 12-0. Stephen Farrell.
This is the final question.
Bah,
Jason should be 12-0.
bah.
You're darn right I should.
Where does
all right.
Kamara go in the draft order next year? Top 6.5 in full point PPR. That's my opinion.
I'm going to say he'll end up being drafted at the back of round 1.
All right.
So more in the 7 to 12 range, but he'll probably be a first. Here's a great question to leave on. Final question. NES or SNES?
Yeah, I answered this one already. That's why they said yes.
Oh,
SNES is the answer for me. What do you think?
I love both, but I think Final Fantasy 3 is
Was that on the
a
NES?
go, and that's on the SNES. So I'm gonna have to.
So SNES.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree. Any
Hey,
questions?
thank you very much for tuning into this live stream, for all of your support,
Yeah, we appreciate
for hanging out with just the two of us this week, and have a great weekend. We'll be back on the regular show tomorrow morning and Friday.